Reporting on the war on Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, we went in search of a man human rights organizations claim is responsible for some of Congo's worst atrocities. Others see him as a key player in a complex equation for peace. His name is Laurent Nkunda, and our news team set off from Goma in eastern Congo one morning to track him down and ask him direct questions about his role in the deadliest conflict since World War II. Crossing a front line and heading into rebel territory, our team had no idea what to expect as we went in search of a man some call a brutal warlord. We're going to see Laurent Nkunda, who some of the victims in this war have blamed for atrocities, for crimes against humanity, for stealing children, for raping women. But, of course, all sides in this war are blamed for those things. Our cars snake up dirt tracks as we pass women, displaced people, and what appears to be a child soldier. Nkunda's men appear as if from nowhere and guide us to a secret hilltop stronghold where guards flit in and out of the mist like well-armed ghosts. We are checked for weapons, and then, with no warning, he appears. A dapper 41-year-old man, no longer in uniform, who says he is still fighting those who committed the genocide in neighboring Rwanda. My name is Ann Curry.
Welcome.
He begins our interview with a statement thanking the U.S. for breathing new life into the fractured peace process here, and laments the descent of this vast country, so rich in mineral resources, into ruin.
So, the first thing we must do is to have a power in the country, to have a government in the country, to have a national army in the country, so that we can restore peace and security. Because you cannot develop a country without security. You cannot develop a country without a government, a national government, a national army, a national police.
You're saying that Congo needs new leadership.
Of course.
Are you hoping to lead this country?
Leadership is initiative. Leadership is commitment, you see. If there is no orientation, if there is no initiative, if there is no management, there is no leadership at all.
Would you like to be president someday of this nation?
Maybe in the future, if I can. And if I can, I'll do.
In this suffering in Congo for the last 10 years, war crimes have been committed. All sides are accused, including yours. Women in this country have been brutally raped. Have your forces raped women in this war?
Let's assume that it's difficult to have a total control on 10,000 men.
So you're saying yes?
What I know, we have only 2 soldiers who were accused of rape. 2 only in the 3 years I had here. And they were punished.
So you have killed men for rape?
It was for me a way to show them that it's inhuman to do that.
It's unacceptable.
It's unacceptable.
This is an epidemic, this raping in this country. An epidemic. There is one village where 70% of the women say they have been raped. One village. What do you say to women in Congo who have been raped by your soldiers? What do you say to these women who are broken, who don't know how they will live?
I say to you that we had 2 cases. And for the 2 cases, I went personally in their families to apologize. And I took those wives to medical. And I supported that. And I does my best to reconcile, even to reintegrate those wives in their families.
I have seen children among your forces. How?
Sure.
Yes, I'm sure. How can you as a father reconcile using children for war?
We don't use.
People under the age of 18
let me tell
are
you,
children.
since 2005, in my army, I have demobilized around 2,500 young soldiers. How can I recruit others when I'm demobilizing? I can't accept a child soldier in my army when I'm demobilizing. You see, having an army of 8,000, then you demobilize 2,500. It's not easy. But we're still demobilizing them, and until now we are demobilizing.
You have children?
Yes. 6.
6 children?
Yes.
You have 6 children. So as a father, to know the fierceness of these battles, the depth of the suffering of your soldiers.
Yes.
What is going through your heart when you realize children have been in this war as soldiers?
Let me tell you true, madam. It hurts. It's not enjoyable. Yeah, that's why I'm telling you that this situation must end. We are doing so that it can end. My first son is 18. If I can imagine him on a front line, it's a problem. That when you see, when there is a problem, the way is not to think about the problem and to fall down. It's to look for a solution. To go forward, even if you are hurted.
The single most important issue to you to end this war, what is the one thing above all else that must happen for this to end?
The only is to get negative forces, foreign forces from Eastern Congo. Then
who's supposed to do that?
We are ready to give our participation, to give our blood for it to be happen.
With the Congolese army?
Of course. And we are waiting so that we can join the national army and work together against it.
To push them out?
Yes.
With force?
We are going to tell them now, you cannot live in our country armed. We can get them back to their country.
It takes 2 sides to fight.
Yes.
But the question I'm asking you is, why not lay down your arms and say, no more fighting? Now, what would be the worst thing that would happen?
We cannot lay down arms when the causes remains. Eastern Congo is occupied. How can I accept that when my own family cannot be back to the country? The worst thing is that now those negative forces, those genociders are going to remain in Congo. I cannot lay down arms when I have a threat, when the threat remains. No.
So you acknowledge that in fighting these forces, you have encouraged more suffering.
Not encourage.
You have allowed more suffering to exist.
Of course. Let us suffer. Because I'm suffering so much also. I'm suffering. Being separated with my family for long, living in the bush for long, it's not easy. But let us suffer for a moment, but liberated forever.
In the position you've taken, and in this war, and in all of this, however, there is a potential price you may pay for the position you've taken. It is possible that because war crimes were committed here in this war, that you could be prosecuted for war crimes. The U.S. government says it's not going to protect you from that. What is your response to that?
Let me assume that what I'm doing, I know that it can bring for me some consequences. I accepted to join the army because I'm ready to give the whole price I have, my life. I'm ready. If Congo can be liberated, then get Nkunda in a prison. What's the problem? If my family can be back in Congo, live in Congo, then get Nkunda at The Hague, and what's the problem? My problem is to be free from what I'm doing, to be responsive to what I'm doing. What I know is that I cannot commit a crime. I cannot do it, and I cannot. I'm a pastor. I pray. I cannot. And I know that I did not. And my forces cannot, and they did not.
In January, Nkunda signed a peace treaty with Congo's government and some 20 other armed groups. But the bloodshed continues today, and Nkunda's commitment to his cause seems as firm as ever. Ann Curry, NBC News, Eastern Congo.